Yeah.
Is that Tim Curry or is that Frank Welker doing a Tim Curry?
Okay, I was going to say,
voice?
I don't think I've ever mistaken Tim Curry for anyone else. I'm just like, that's Tim Curry.
No, honestly, when I first watched Moana, I thought the voice of Tama. Puppers, welcome to a special playthrough. This is Psychonauts. This is a very creative game by the mind of Tim Schafer, who I like to describe as the Tim Burton of the video game industry.
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
He's quirky, he's bizarre, they have like odd art styles and just very peculiar humor. An interesting sense of humor. So for the cutscenes, we'll mostly remain quiet, but the gameplay it's all commentary and just take a look at what this wild, wacky adventure has in store for us.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's supposed to be kind of creepy, so it's like just in time for Halloween time, spooky time.
And the music does have that little Danny Elfman boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, even though the music is not by Danny Elfman. But it's just interesting how it has honestly,
the vibe.
If there was a cartoon or movie of Psychonauts, I think Tim Burton should be involved.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tim Burton and Tim Schafer working together to collaborate. I think would make something. Tim Squared. All right.
Human mind. 600 miles of synaptic fiber, 5.5 ounces of cranial fluid, 1,500 grams of complex neural matter. A 3-pound pile of dreams. But I'll tell you what it really is. It is the ultimate battlefield and the ultimate weapon. The wars of this modern age, the psychic age, are all fought somewhere between these damp, curvaceous undulations. From this day forward, you are all psychic soldiers. Paranormal paratroopers, mental marines who are about to ship out on the adventure of their lives. This is our beachhead, and this is your landing craft. You shall engage the enemy in his own mentality. You shall chase his dreams. You shall fight his demons. You shall live his nightmares. And those of you who fight well, you will find yourselves on the path to becoming international secret agents. In other words, Psychonauts. The rest of you will die.
Oh, Maury.
Children, you are not going to die.
Well, if you're not a Psychonaut, then you might as well be dead.
They told me this was a summer camp.
Dogan. Don't worry about old Coach Oleander. I've been coming here for years, and trust me, nothing ever happens.
Yeah, Dogan, Lily's right. You don't got nothing to worry about. Except for that giant monster in the lake I was telling you about.
Bobby Zilch, I told you to stop scaring people with that ridiculous old legend. I don't want the kids to be afraid to go out at night and walk alone on the perfectly safe paths of Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp. And we don't want to scare our special guests, superstar Psychonauts Sasha 9 and Mia Vodello.
Whoa! Light monster!
Formation.
It's resisting. Quick, bring it over here.
What is it?
It's just a little boy. What's your name, darling?
I'll find out. Kid, get in! Ugh.
My name
Starts with a D.
is Rasputin. but everybody calls me Raz.
Please don't kill us, lake monster!
Compelling.
Armored like a tank.
Sorry I'm late. I don't want to disrupt your briefing, Agent Oleander. Agents 9, Vodello, please, continue.
Where do you think you're going?
You've broken into a highly classified remote government training facility.
I know. Isn't it great? Listen, why don't I just sit over here quietly with my fellow Psychonauts? Hey, how's it going? I like your hat.
We need to have this young man taken from here immediately.
I'll call his parents.
What? But don't you train Psychonauts here?
Yes, darling, but...
To soar across the astral plane. To wage psychic warfare against the enemies of free thought.
That is what I wrote on the front of the pamphlet.
Those words are why I'm here, Coach Oleander. Do you remember what you wrote on the inside of that pamphlet? You were born with a special gift. But the people around you treat it like a curse. Your mother is afraid of you. And your father looks at you with shame in his eyes. Come to Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp, and you can show them all. Back home, your powers make you a loner, an outcast, a circus freak. But in this dojo, in this psychic dojo, they make you a hero.
Get that soldier a bunk.
All right, so we have our premise.
You can stay here for a few days.
Exciting stuff.
So our main character is Rasputin, but everyone's going to call him Raz. He's voiced by, I think his name's Richard Horvitz.
Okay.
He's Zim from Invader Zim.
Ah.
And also the, the brown beaver in Angry Beavers.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Daggett.
Daggett, yep. And I think another one is Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Okay.
Ooh, I hope I live.
Chance to be something.
So yeah, a very energetic voice actor with a peculiar voice that allows him to provide the voice of peculiar characters.
Oh yeah.
The first time I saw the artwork for this game, I thought he was like some kind of like alien kid. And then I thought it was like some kind of like anthropomorphic ant. And then actually playing them, just like, okay, so they are kids. They're just wearing goggles. He's just wearing goggles. And like, it's just a very peculiar Halloween Town kind of art style.
Yeah.
To where like there's weird proportions. But I don't know. It's just as soon as I saw that first cutscene, I was hooked. I banged this game out in a week.
Yeah, I think it was kind of funny, like when with the guy like, it's what you wrote on the front of the brochure.
That is what I wrote on the front of the pamphlet. All right, and this is most popular as a PC game and an Xbox, but I am playing on the PlayStation 2. So I do have slightly longer load times on my version.
Okay.
All right, so first we're going to grab a bunk and put in our profile name.
This is our bunk.
So yeah, there's a lot of like very clever puns and jokes all throughout, both visually and in the dialogue.
Okay.
And there's going to be a lot of moments where like you can just talk with characters for a while and they'll just like keep going. And I'd love to get all the jokes, but there's just so much.
Yeah.
And like it's not as fun to commentate over just like banter back and forth. But I hope this encourages you to at least give the game a try yourself. It is a platformer, a 3D platformer. And when you watch it, it's going to be very similar to A Hat in Time.
Okay. I mean, I'm not against playing platformers. I just know I tend to not get through them.
Yeah, I get you. But it's a collectathon, and there's a lot of like very interesting aesthetics. Again, don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
But like this is perhaps one of the most original games I've ever played.
Okay.
This and Pikmin, I think, are like the two like really original games that I've played where I'm just like, wow, that's clever. I'd have never thought of that.
Now, does the dialogue eventually get subtitles?
Yes.
Okay.
So as soon as I actually take control of the character, I can put subtitles on.
Okay. I was going to say just for
This is our little tutorial.
anyone newly watching or just joining in, we do post commentary. So there's not actually any sound playing while we're commentating. So I hear it when you're playing it and when we watch the final cut.
Yep.
So I don't actually know what they're saying because I watch these blind. You play them, but I'm new.
Yeah,
like
you ever hear me sing?
Yeah, occasionally, but I try not to spoil it for myself as well. So.
But yeah, he's basically telling us about like side challenge markers and basically the collectibles that we'll be getting throughout the game.
Okay.
And when we collect those, we gain new ranks, giving us new psychic abilities.
Ooh.
So yeah, there's also like that little bit of like RPG to where you collect items and you can level up.
Okay.
But here it's called rank up.
Gotcha.
That guy looks so familiar.
Alrighty. So yeah, that was just a basic tutorial, and you can press the start menu to look at your journal at any time.
Nice.
Alrighty. So yeah, I do like the bait and switch at the beginning to where you think you're in like
the military.
Yep. And it turns out it's just like a summer camp.
I think it's funny because like you see the adults and you're like, okay, so this is like a facility, and then the kids start screaming, I thought this was a summer camp.
All right, so this is our hub.
Hey, Raz, hurry up!
Whispering
You don't
Rock.
want to be late for basic training.
Woohoo! Basic braining is the best class
So there we go.
Yeah.
So our health meter is 3 brains instead of 3 hearts like in Zelda.
Okay.
And this is our journal. We have options, so we can go in here, and we're just going to throw on those subtitles.
Okay.
Because like even similar to the last story, outside of cutscenes, characters are constantly talking.
Yeah.
And by putting on the subtitles, you can get those little
nuances. And yeah. Yep. Well, not only that, I'm one of those people that I have to have subtitles on all the time because I don't always catch everything they're saying. Whether it's from an accent or they're whispering or just the volume is too low because I am deaf.
I got you.
So I just generally like to have subtitles on so I don't miss anything.
I got you. So I'm zipping through the journal right now, but don't worry. We're going to break down. The game's going to break down what everything means. But there's like the objective list. So like if you ever get lost and it's just like, what was I doing? You can go to the objective list and be like, this is the last thing. There is a map. If you ever get lost, it shows you like a marker and your destination.
See, I do think I prefer, what is it called? Just like your journal or the, I'm losing the word for it. The menu. There we go.
Main menu, okay.
So I do prefer the menu like that where you can kind of see everything all at once and you just switch between pages.
Okay.
Rather than like how the last story does it where they like zoom away.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I got you. Yeah, it has like all the menus on. You select one and it comes up into the forefront.
Not as much?
I got
Shoot,
you.
I reckon things ain't gonna change one bit. Doggone it, partner.
Well, I also like how
Logan's
like
never gonna...
a lot of
you're gonna
those
make my
additional
boyfriend late for
things
class.
aren't always on
Come on,
the
James.
screen.
Yeah.
You bring them up through like so it doesn't feel too cluttered.
Right.
Because like that can be a problem with like, yeah, there's not too much happening here. You have Raz's lives, his health.
But
Over
even that
there
stuff
is
like
the
goes
shortcuts where your abilities are going to be when you get them.
But even at that, like the health and everything doesn't stay on the screen all the time.
Correct. Yeah, it fades away. So really, you're just going to be seeing the buttons for your abilities.
Okay.
And again, we don't have any abilities right now. So we're just going to collect some arrowheads. And arrowheads is the currency.
Okay.
Because this used to be an old Indian burial ground.
Of course it was.
So yeah, there's some like dark aspects of the story, and there's like some little undertones of dark aspects in the game as well.
I'm telling you for the last time, no.
I like in the beginning when these two are talking, and he's like, have you ever exploded someone? Well, no. There was that one time, but now I have to wear this hat. Do you want to try it on?
No.
Hi, Raz.
Squirrel trouble?
Dogen's communicating with all of the squirrels.
Whatever they tell you, it's a lie.
He reminds me of Pugsley.
I'll take your word for it. You going to class?
Yeah, I'll meet you up there. As soon as
And
I get
if
these
you're
guys
familiar
to
with our
shut up.
You Know This voice, that's Nika Futterman doing the voice of Dogen.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of like very common Saturday morning cartoon characters.
Yeah.
are the cast in this game.
After starting to do those, you know this voice, it's wild, like, how many things...
Hang on, watch that. Dogen, what did you do? All the squirrel body parts just fall to the ground.
God.
I'm
But-
pretty sure this game's rated T for teen.
More than likely.
That's got to be the worst band name I have ever heard
But
in the history of...
I've realized, like, how many things I know these people from. Where, like, I never would have guessed it before. It's always been like, wow, they sound familiar. And then that was the last thought that I had.
That was the reason why I started You Know This Voice, was because I was just like, oh, it's that actor. And you just stare at me. And I'd be like, from this cartoon, you'd be like, oh. So I kind of wanted, like, a montage.
Well, I asked if we should do that.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, how do you feel about doing this?
Kids, Phoebe.
Because we would do that all the time while watching, like, anime and stuff. I'd be like, wow, that sounds really familiar. And you would pull up their, like, portfolio of stuff they've done and start listing them off. And I was like, wow, like, they're in a lot of stuff I know. And then I was like, hey, do you think we should put together, like, a list of
Okay.
things? And then you were like, yeah, let's call it You Know This Voice.
Okay. All right, so you proposed the idea, and I just did, like, the title.
And like, how
it
to
works.
do it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I remember. I know it started.
It was
by
a
just,
team
like,
effort, for sure.
Looking up how.
Because we started doing that with, oh my god, I just lost his name. Police Girl.
Oh, Crispin Freeman.
Yeah, because we started playing Find Crispin.
Yes. Fine, Crispin Freeman.
So,
I don't think Crispin. I don't think any of the anime voice actors are in this game. I think it's mostly like
cartoons.
Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
Nickelodeon, those kind of actors.
Yeah.
Did voice work for this game. And we should probably do a You Know This Voice for Richard Horvitz as well.
That'd
He
be
does
fun,
quite
yeah.
a few.
Yeah. Because there were some that we've been doing a lot of, like, anime voices, but, like, the guy who voices SpongeBob
Tom Kenny,
is in a lot. The guy who voices Mr. Krabs
Clancy Brown.
is in a lot.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Whereas,
know my
like,
voice
I don't know any of them, which is terrible because I should, because I've heard them in so many things. But it's like, because I don't see their face, it doesn't register that, like, who they are.
A lot of times, some of them sound similar to the other. Like, I'm just like, oh, is that Chris Sabat or is that Steve Bloom? Is that Mark Hamill? Is that Frank Welker?
Yeah.
Is that Tim Curry or is that Frank Welker doing a Tim Curry?
Okay, I was going to
kind
say,
of
I don't
voice?
think I've ever mistaken Tim Curry for anyone else. I'm just like, that's Tim Curry.
No, honestly, when I first watched Moana, I thought the voice of Tamatoa was Tim Curry. His name's like Jamon Clement or something like that.
Oh, see, it didn't register to me as Tim Curry.
Really? Mm-mm. Because, like, that actor also does a character called Boris the Animal in Men in Black 3.
Oh,
I swear to God, he's doing a Tim Curry impression.
I mean, he very well could be.
Like, if Tim Curry was in his youth, they would have got Tim Curry to play Boris the Animal.
Okay.
Frozen solid.
Frozen solid.
So, the game is very slippery, I find. Like, it always feels like... Because Raz is a very, like, athletic character, you're going to be, like, slipping and climbing and stuff like that. But luckily, the game is very forgiving if you fall or die. Like,
Okay.
it just takes you back to, like, where you last missed your jump.
Okay.
So, like, it's pretty forgiving, but in regards to a platformer, it feels very, like, slippery.
Like, you're just always in ice physics, or?
Just like, okay, I'm gonna judge this jump, and you just like slide just a little bit, or like you're just a little off.
Okay.
Like someone like greased.
See, that's what kills me, because
Someone greased the
I'm like
poles.
bad at that to begin with. So.
Like, see there, I just like slide off, and I'm just like, oh, I guess that's not like a solid platform. And again, like, it probably is mostly my fault, but coming from A Hat in Time back to this, I just always feel like I'm slipping off things. Now, granted, like, I feel like this game influenced A Hat in Time a lot. Because this, I believe, was made in, like, the early 2000s.
Okay.
Whereas A Hat in Time was released in 2016 onto the Switch in 2018.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We got enough cards that we can... we can increase our rank, but we can only do it after class. There we go. Okay, so that's my doing. Because I wanted to get the card. It's like, it's hard, well, it's not hard for me to explain, but I just have to explain that, like, there's moments where I'm going to slide and be like, no, I saw something and I wanted it. And there's other times where I'm going to slide off something and be like, actually, I just misjudged that jump. They grease the wheels. But yeah, this is our basic hub area, this entire campground. We're going to be going here a lot in between the actual levels.
Okay.
So a hub world is like a big playground that connects all the levels of the game. Hat in Time's hub world was the spaceship.
Okay.
Hat Kid's spaceship?
Yeah.
That's basically what the hub world was. And then you went to different parts of the spaceship to access the actual worlds. That's more or less what Psychonauts is going to be.
Okay.
And quite a few other 3D platformers that we play as well. I believe Gex 64 was another one.
Yeah.
You step on the TV, you go into the level. The hub was just some kind of random area. Okay. Sometimes they're creative, sometimes they're literally just a hub world.
Yeah.
This is one of the more creative ones. It's a campground. There's going to be like cabins and bunks and stuff like that. Tree houses. But weaved into the hub world are the levels.
That kid's hair.
Oh, this game takes home the trophy of like weirdest facial dimensions and hairstyles.
Yeah.
No question.
It's just so tall.
Alright, so he's giving me the smelling salts. If a level ever feels too difficult, you can just pop a smelling salt and it'll kick you out of the level back to the hub.
Okay.
So it's just a good thing to utilize if you feel like you're in over your head, or it's just like, oh, I wanted to do this in the camp first before I went to this level.
Okay.
Bust out a smelling salt. They're not finite, they are infinite, so you can just pop them anytime. I do think certain boss battles restrict you from using smelling salts, though.
That kid just looks like a zombie.
He looks like zombie Andy Samberg.
Really? Because you look more like the cotton
Really, because
candy.
you look more like a cotton candy.
Benny, put this kid's death on my to-do list.
He's all yours.
Yeah, we'll settle this on the battlefield.
Alright, so again, it's like letting you know all the stuff that your journal will cover. But let's go right into our first level.
Okay.
Alright. Things to do. There's the map. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so everyone here seems to be in a trance. They're like meditating and stuff.
Yeah. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Oh?
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last.
She reminds me of the fainting female lizard from Rango.
Oh, wow, okay.
Coach Oleander?
I forget her name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Son, you
Bean?
realize that to take my
Might be
course,
Bean,
I
yeah.
think it's Beans.
I'll have to pull you into
She's
my
voiced by
mind.
Isla Fisher, I do believe.
You will have to relive every bullet
Alright, so this is the
memory of
training
every
level.
battle I have ever faced.
And like I think it's really cool
Are you
how
sure
they
you wouldn't rather run around a bit more in the sunshine first?
basically utilize going into levels.
I'm ready, sir.
Well,
I'll let the game do the talking now.
You're late, soldier. Now get in here and give
His
me
neckerchief
20.
is a skull.
Okay, so your levels are literally going into the minds of other characters.
Oh.
And you're going to be fighting their inner demons. You're going to be exploring like their personalities. Like they're very surreal levels based off that character's personalities.
That is really cool.
So like that is one of the bonuses of Psychonauts. It's not just first level grasslands,
Yeah.
second level fire world.
It's got a lot of
There's
different
a
types
lot
of levels.
really cool aesthetics that I don't want to spoil. But you can kind of guess what Coach Oleander's first
So,
what his mental state is like.
the mental
Warzone.
world.
It Looks like a dentist office.
Looks like a dentist's office.
Mental dentist office.
A mental dentist office.
It's a recruiting office, kids, and I'm here to recruit you for the greatest job in the world, being a Psychonaut. It's about fighting a war for mental freedom. Are you ready to face torture, insanity, and death? Because this is your last chance to chicken out.
Oh, me, sir. I'd like to chicken out, please.
Too late, soldier.
But you said...
There's only one way out of here. Fighting. I want one of you chickens to sock me square in the jaw. I warn you.
Alright, so once we sock him in the jaw, the level truly begins.
Okay.
But we're gonna do that in the next episode.
Aw, man.
Hope you enjoy some more Psychonauts.
Toodles!